Hope everybody's having a great day today. Day 2, ABCA. It's a vibe out here. So, a lot of things to talk about with Josh today. Obviously, super happy for him to come out here. And Josh is one of our first Pro Staff guys to have our new Pro 3.0. Josh, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So, hot takes first. Get into some questions. I didn't ask you these previously, so that might take you off guard. Least favorite pitcher to face so far in your career?
Luis Severino shoved it up my butt pretty good. I think he went like 7 no-hit against us. So he was pretty nasty that day. That was scary and bad. I only got to face him twice, thank goodness.
Favorite pitcher so far? Obviously, your biggest memory probably hitting that home run at first at bat.
Ross Stripling was pretty cool to get that. But I think, honestly, my favorite pitcher to face this year was Robbie Ray. Kind of going into that game, our game plan was literally if you hit a ball hard to the pull side, you won $100. So it was like, I'm just going to try and do that, and I ended up booking it. It was cool.
Fun fact, Robbie Ray also has a Pro 3.0 as part of our Rapsodo Pro Staff. What do you like doing outside baseball?
Oh gosh.
What's some of your hobbies?
I have a mini basketball hoop. I like to do that. I play a lot of pickleball. That's been kind of my guilty pleasure this offseason. Then I play a lot of Fortnite. So those are a couple things that I do outside of the game.
That could take up a whole day.
It could, especially when you die every 5 seconds. Like
What's your off-season working on?
I wake up every day around 7:30, 7:45, go to the weight room, and I mean it's pretty much from the time I go to the weight room, we have like a little break after I work out. We go hit, do our defense, do all that kind of stuff. We're usually done by 2 o'clock, 2:30 every day. And it's just the same thing every day.
Favorite professional athlete?
Favorite athlete? I mean, I'm a Texas Tech guy, so I got to say Mahomes, right? I mean, he's pretty good at what he does.
So I asked this question to Kyle Wright earlier today, and it was non-answered. But I'm going to ask you the same one. What's your spirit animal? French bulldog.
A French bulldog? I don't know what my spirit animal would be, honestly. I've always liked monkeys, so we can say a monkey.
There you go. Josh Jung, the monkey. You hit a home run at your first at bat. Talk about that.
It's crazy. It was surreal. The 2 weeks leading up to that, I couldn't hit the baseball to save my life. I think I struck out like 80% of my at bats. So getting the call up and coming into that at bat, it was like, please don't strike out. More so than anything, just make contact. And I went down 0-2 very quickly. So it was kind of scary. I'm just lucky that he hung a changeup right down the middle and it ran into my bat. But it was surreal. Running around the bases, felt like I was kind of floating. It was one of those blackout moments. It was super cool, super surreal.
We've seen the Rangers this offseason obviously make a ton of investment, right, to compete in that division. They made an investment in you. You're going to be a big piece of that puzzle for the Rangers. How do you deal with all that hype? I think obviously a lot of the coaches out here probably have players that come up that have a lot of high expectations around them. How do you deal with that? What piece of advice from these coaches to deal with that?
Well, honestly, the pressure's off me. I got 2 Gold Glovers to my left. Nathaniel Lowe just hit .302 with 28 or 29 homers. So me, it's just come and pull my weight. But I would say, truly, like coming in with those expectations is not putting expectations too high on yourself. I think I've dealt with that. That's probably my biggest downfall. I try to be perfect all the time, and it's just not going to be that way. So having some grace with myself, but just having fun, playing with these guys, living the lifestyle, having fun with them. Not trying to make it too serious. It is a game. It is what I get paid to do, but at the same time, it's still a game, and it's just fun to go out there and play, invest in my teammates, and just have fun. That's kind of how I've managed expectations.
Just want to reiterate, if you guys have any specific questions for Josh, Kristen's walking around sharing up over there. We'll have some fan questions after. Let's talk about hitting and your approach to hitting. What are some of the things you focus on? Obviously, you can talk about metrics, we'll do that here in a second, but what is your approach to hitting specifically?
My approach to hitting can get complex very quickly, but it's all based upon the pitch shape I'm facing that day, truly. But I guess I'll kind of take you through like my life kind of progression of all this. So like coming up, it was backside line drives. That was all I was taught. My dad was always like, off a tee, backside line drive, make sure it gets to the wall on the ground or whatever. And so that was kind of my approach all the way through college. And it kind of got me to where I am today. It was nothing with power. It was like I'm hitting a ball at 18 degrees, hitting the double. If it goes out, it goes out. And so my dad taught me to be a hitter first, not really worried about hitting home runs or anything like that. But kind of getting into pro ball, my first little stint, I got exposed in a heartbeat. I was getting jammed. I was getting blown up left and right. So then COVID, we kind of talked about a minute ago. COVID, I think, transformed my career because I got to go to taxi squad and I got to play and practice every day. Didn't have to play a game. Didn't have to go really compete every day. It was just training. And that's when I started using the Rapsodo to really dive into my swing. But now I'm trying to turn the baseball around to left center. My approach my whole life was I'm going to drive it to right center, stay inside the ball. But then somebody said it to me one time. He might be in the audience today, right there. It was, you're already inside the baseball when it's thrown at you. So just swing and hit the bottom inside part of it. And that can be wherever in your swing path, you're going to hit it that way. So the biggest thing for me is just, I'm going to try to hit a backspun baseball left center as high as I can. My swing, my whole life was really flat. And so like when I missed, it was, either a ground ball or a double. I'm trying to hit a line drive. Now it's like I'm trying to hit it really high, so now my miss is a little higher, but my main miss is a line drive. I think that's the biggest kind of transformation in my hitting career so far.
Awesome. Dive into the metrics a little bit with the pros. What are the real metrics you're focusing on in terms of improvement?
Exit velocity is the really cool thing, but I don't really focus on that a whole lot until like towards the end of the session after I get all my feel good stuff in. But I'm really looking at launch angle because without that, that's just a result of, to me, it's a result of my thought process when I'm swinging, when I'm in the box. It's not really anything more than that because you can get lost in that really quick and people can literally start swinging up. But for me, I look at that just to make sure I'm within the right range. I think, especially in professional baseball, they have a thing called barrel percentage, and that's hitting the ball between 25 and 35 degrees. With the Rangers, we say 20 to 35 degrees is the perfect way you want to hit the baseball. So I'm trying to always train within that to kind of duplicate that swing. But I'm also looking at just how I spin the baseball. I think that's the biggest thing that the Rapsodo can help me with is seeing how I spin it every time I hit the ball. And I try to stay between 10 and 2 o'clock. Once I start really getting dialed in, I try to stay between 11 and 1, as close to 12 as I can. But those are the two things that I truly look at all the time because that's all I'm really worried about is just backspin the baseball. If I do everything right, the result's going to be there when I backspin it.
Real quick, take the group through your normal hitting session. Obviously, it varies from day to day. But what would be your normal hitting session?
We can dive in really deep with this, or we can just keep it simple. But I don't really hit off the tee anymore. I know that was a huge part of my routine growing up. Was always just hitting off the tee. But I do a lot of machine work with a junior hack, a smaller machine. It doesn't throw as hard, so it's not going to break your bat usually. But I do a lot of angle stuff. And so we'll do like an east-west day, which is pitches moving east-west, so like a sinker slider or something. And I'll do angled machines. And again, it's just trying to backspin through the middle of the field. I'm not trying to pull it. I'm not trying to stay inside of it and hit to right field. I'm trying to backspin everything between the gaps. And so I'll do like an angled in fastball, angled away slider. And the overemphasis of the angles kind of helps with your body. You can't really cheat that with your body because if you do, you're going to roll over. So for me, it's just, I know my path is really good, but I'm hitting something that you're never really going to see in a game, but the training component of it really keeps you in line and tells you what you need to address.
I think one of the most, or it could be argued one of the most underutilized features of Rapsodo is our video component on the iPad.
Yeah.
How do you utilize film and video in terms of your swing mechanics and both during the season and outside of it?
I use video a lot, and we're sitting here talking to college and high school coaches that might have 3 or 4 guys staff, so taking video of every swing might be hard. But for real, the Rapsodo, I put it behind me, and I kind of face it, and I have a TV monitor that I project everything on. So I have the camera behind me, behind view, just to make sure when I'm coming into the zone, my bat is inside the baseball and it's not coming around. Because it actually slows it down. It's kind of cool. There's like a little slow-mo through contact, so it's pretty cool. But video is huge, especially coming back this last year through rehab. I was chasing old feels of stuff that probably wasn't really real. And we were talking about this a second ago, and that's when the Rapsodo comes in huge for me. But I had these feels last season in 21 that made me successful, that were really good, that I felt like were great. But then, got a new shoulder after surgery, and it's like coming back. I couldn't tell what was real and what wasn't. and then watching video, it doesn't lie to you. You can make stuff up in your head, like immediately and say, oh, this is moving in video, but it's really not. And that's where like the Rangers were really good with me of making sure that what I was saying and what I was thinking about the video kind of matched up with their eyes too. But the way I utilize it is breaking it all down, and I just make sure I'm landing on pitch the right way. I'm not landing too early, I'm not landing too late, and just making sure I'm entering the zone right. But I mean, the biggest tool for me is the Rapsodo. I mean, I'll take video and I'll slow it down and look at it, but for me, it's just seeing the result.
For these guys, what's one piece of advice you could give them, to a young Josh Jung coming up? What's one thing that's kind of stuck with you along the way?
Don't put expectations too high. I think this is the biggest thing, especially like the high school and college coaches. You're gonna have guys going through the draft process, and that wrecked me twice, truly, because I felt like I had to play better than I already did. Especially in college, I went out my sophomore year and had a really good season. And then my junior year coming back, I don't think I had a hit for like 20 or 30 at-bats in my junior year. And it was like, whoa, you just completely changed because you think all these other people have these expectations of you when they really don't. They just want you to play and be who you are. So I think that's the biggest takeaway is just stay true to who you are and to tell your guys to stay true to who they are. And they don't have to do too much. And it's so much easier said than done because you can say that to you're red in the face, but they're still going to do whatever kind of they feel like they have to do. But that's like the main message is just do your thing.
A lot of the coaches here obviously, don't use a wood bat, but you see it integrated more and more into youth baseball. What's kind of your feeling on that? Do you think players should be transitioning to wood more, using it more in the off season, during the season? What do you think?
I would say in the off-season is a good training piece because wood's not going to lie to you like a metal bat can. You can get jammed with a metal bat and still hit it out or still get base hits and stuff. I'd say in the off-season for sure. I would say in-season for high school and college, no. I want to swing the bat. I'm going to swing every day, and I want to get with that bat. But definitely in the off-season, I see it as a good training piece. And I know a lot of travel ball stuff in the summer, and even in college, summer ball is all wood bat stuff. But I mean, it's kind of up to the kid's preference too. Like if he wants to swing it, great. It can be a good tool for them, but for me personally, it would be in season. I'm only swinging my metal bat because that's what I'm going to swing and that's what I'm going to go to war with that day. But in the off season, kind of transition to wood a little bit just to see, if my swing's right. It's kind of just stuff like that.
Obviously, we're known for hitting and pitching, but you're an elite fielder as well, third base.
Sometimes.
Give some advice for these coaches out here in terms of what you're working on, fielding-wise, any tips?
Working on a lot, fielding-wise. Gaining confidence diving again, that's a big one for me. But truly, I use the hack attack for like everything. So I'll take the legs off, put it on the ground, and make sure I have top spun baseballs coming at me. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from the Rangers was I'm not going to see many backside or backspun baseballs at third, and I think in fungo we can get kind of complacent and just backspin everything, and it kind of checks up hops and stuff. But really understanding kind of topspin and learning hops and learning how to read hops, I think that's kind of where I took a big jump. Still got a long way to go, but that's kind of where I took a big jump was just top spinning everything. I do a lot of drill stuff with long hops and footwork stuff. I don't really utilize a ladder too much. My pickleball comes into play for my quick feet and stuff. But a lot of long hops, a lot of short hops, and it's really just learning how to pick out a hop. I mean, I'm still going through it, so I know a lot of people are still going through that, but it's just learning how to pick out a hop and get my glove out there. I don't really field the baseball with two hands anymore. I feel like it kind of limits my range of motion because you can kind of go further with one arm than you can with two. I say that's another big takeaway because I was always taught, funnel it, and it's kind of just go get the short hop and make sure you secure the ball first before you start doing anything else. But truly, it's just learning how to read a hop. I'm still learning every day.
2023 goals.
I got 3 so far. Connor, don't write these down. So in my last year, struggled with the strikeout a lot. I think the best year of my pro career so far, I was like a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk guy. So that's my goal in the if I'm in the big leagues or wherever, is be a 2-to-1 strikeout to walk guy. I think this year in the big leagues, I was like a 5-to-1, so it's terrible. And then I want to try to be top 3 in the league in barrel percentage, kind of what we were talking about earlier. And those are kind of my two biggest ones right now that I can think of. And then be the best defender I can be. Truly, I mean, I got Corey Seager to my left, Marcus Simeon in the infield. So just get the balls that maybe Corey can't get to. That's mainly my goal.
Awesome. What's it like playing with Corey Seager?
I mean, you got a rookie of the year back in like 16, just a ton of experience, World Series MVP, has a World Series. It's just crazy to kind of see how he goes through his work and how intentional he is with everything he kind of does. He doesn't really do anything that's wasted. It's all intentional with everything he does. And it's just fun. It's honestly just fun. It takes the pressure off me coming up, especially expectations-wise, because I know he's to my left.
Josh, thank you for being here. I think it's really cool to see kind of the next generation, I would say, of players utilizing technology, especially, Rapsodo. I think we're really starting to see that. And you're a testament of it. Using it in college, and one of the first things you buy is the Pro 3.0. So appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
We've got one more post-draft guy coming this evening, Sandy Alcantara. I believe he's scheduled us up on the TVs. Josh, thanks for being here. Let's give it up to Josh.
Thanks for having me.